All right, so if you're going to be using a prong collar with your dog, we need to make sure that we introduce it correctly. We can't just put the collar on the dog and then put the dog into a situation of reacting, and I'll tell you why. Your dog, if they're used to being on a harness, a head harness, or a flat buckle collar, or even a slip lead, if they're used to being on that, I want you to think that that dog is used to driving a beat up old Volvo, right? You slam on the gas and it barely accelerates. You slam on the brakes and it barely stops. That's the car that they're used to driving, okay? And now we're gonna put them in a brand new Bugatti, okay? So if we are slamming on the gas, they're gonna peel out all over the place. If they're slamming on the brakes, they're gonna screech, they're gonna grind the clutch. We need to teach them how to drive this new car, this new collar, okay? Because if they're used to just slamming into the end of that collar, this collar's gonna have a different sensation. And we need to make sure we show the dog that they're in full control of how the collar works. So we're gonna do this just with a simple pressure on, pressure off exercise. When the dog pulls, I'm going to apply pressure. When the dog moves with me, I'm going to release pressure. When they pull, we're going to release, okay? And we're just going to do it over and over again so the dog understands when they pull away from me, pressure increases, and when they move with me, pressure decreases, okay? So it's just a simple leash pressure exercise. And to jump back to our operant conditioning, this would be our negative reinforcement. So we're going to show a few more examples with Yuki here. He's moving away from me. We got pressure and off. When you're applying leash pressure, do not apply pressure straight backwards, okay? We want to give the dog an area to move, and they move from left to right. There's not many dogs that are going to do the crab walk, so don't pull directly along the spine. When you're pulling and introducing the prong collar to your dog, make sure you're pulling slightly to the left or slightly to the right. So Yuki's pulling again that way. We're going to put pressure. Soon as he gives me some commitment, pressure is going to come off. Good job, Yuke, right? So this might be something that you introduce in your home, your backyard, then your front yard, then your front street, right? It might be a situation you can't introduce it out at the park. You can't introduce it in an area with more stressors or triggers. Good boy. Okay? Do this exercise for a while. Maybe a few days before you go out and start working on your let's go. Just making sure that the dog has a good understanding of how this new car drives and how this new exercise works, okay? Good boy. Doesn't need to be anything too rigorous. You don't really need to pull too hard. Just start showing the dog how to do pressure on, pressure off. Once they understand those concepts, if you need to get firmer with it during your let's go scenario, you can welcome to do that.